Hi soulmates, welcome back to my channel. Please kindly subscribe if you are yet to do so. And today we'll be learning how to make a double shirt collar, a double collar. I made a video earlier on how to make the collar fly and the collar be separately, so you can go to my TikTok page. I have it there to watch it. All right, I'll be showing us the different type of interfacing that you can use for your collar. So here with me I have the collar stay, also known as the peplum stay. I have the paper stay, and I also have the hair stay. You can choose any one you want depending on how strong you want your collar or the kind of fabric you are working with. But for this tutorial I'll be making use of the paper stay. All right, so before you can cut your collar, you must have been through with your shirt, and you measure whatever you have left on the neckline to know the measurement to use for your collar. It is usually around 17 inches. It depends on the body size, but 17 inches is fine. If the person has a smaller body, it can be less. It can be 15.5, it can be 16, but 17 inches is the standard, and it can be more than that if the person is a plus size. I will be cutting the collar on fold, so 17 inches on fold, that will give me 8.5 inches. That's 8.5 inches. So I have my stay on fold now. This is me just showing us all the previous collar tutorial that I made. That is the collar fly and the collar beads. I made that separately. Like I mentioned earlier, you can find that on my TikTok page to watch it. So after measuring the length of my collar, which is 8.5 inches, the next thing I want to do now is to measure 1.5 inches as the height. So I'll be measuring 1.5 inches, and I'll place my ruler on it and rule a straight line there. I'll make sure I connect that line to the 8.5 that I marked as the length of the collar. So after connecting that, I want to place my tape now and go up, as you can see in this video, by 0.25. You can actually do 0.5 inch, depends on what you want, but I'll be doing 0.25, and I'll come in again from the center, as you can see in this video, by 4 inches. I'll mark that and just connect that. I just want that to have a little bit of curve so that when you are attaching it to the neckline, it just sits perfectly on the neck. So that was why I did that. Okay, so mates, now I want to mark out the other collar, and to do this, I'll be coming in from that end, as you can see in this video, by 0.75. I'll come in by 0.75, and the height I'll be using for this other one is going to be 2.5 inches. I'll place my tape, as you can see in this video. I'm going to start from that line where I marked the first one and measure 2.5 inches. So I'm going to connect that together. So after connecting the lines, the next thing I want to do now is to go to the center front of the other collar, as you can see in this video, and I'll come down by 0.5 inch. I'm going to come down by 0.5 inch and connect it to the other end, as you can see me do here. The essence of doing all of this is just to give our collar this very nice and perfect shape. It just makes it sit properly when we put on our shirt. Okay, so the last thing I'll be doing now is to go to the other end of the collar like this, and I'm just going to draw this nice curve there. Yes, that is how a standard collar should be. You can use your free hand to do this. Just have a nice curve there, and I'll just label them as collar fly and collar base. Don't worry, I'm not going to cut it separately. I labeled them just so we could identify them, or probably to just know their names. So now I'll be cutting it out now. Remember when I was cutting this collar, if you all notice, I did not add any seam allowance. Yes, I'll explain better when I'm about to transfer the collar to the fabric that I'll be using. You know, I used a stay to cut it out now, so all the seam allowance is going to be on the fabric. There is no need, please do not add seam allowance to your stay. You don't need it on your stay. So this is what our stay looks like for now, and now I'll be transferring it to the fabric that I'll be using for this tutorial. Now I have the fabric on fold. Yes, the fabric is going to be on fold, so you'll be adding all your seam allowance to the fabric. If you'll be sewing with 1/4 inch, half-inch seam allowance, just add it to the fabric all through. As you can see, you can even add more because you will still be trimming it out. Yes, you can add any seam allowance as long as it is convenient for you, because we'll be trimming them out just so you can have a perfect finish. And when it's time to sew, we'll be sewing very, very close to that stay. I'll explain better soon. Now I'll go to my iron table. I'll press that side in and also gum the stay to the fabric. I'm going to press it and gum it to the fabric, and now it is time to sew. Like I said earlier, we are going to be sewing very close to the stay. It shouldn't be on the stay, because if you want to have a perfect finishing, please don't sew on the stay, but very, very close to it. Yes, if you do it this way, it's going to be easy and the outcome is going to be very beautiful. In case you might want to ask, yes, the stay, we just cut out just one piece of stay, and it's going to be on just one side of the fabric. Remember, we cut the fabric on fold. That means we have two pieces, so the stay is going to be on one side, and we are just going to fold one end in like so, just with probably about 0.25, that's 1/4 inch. We are going to fold one side in like so. The other end will just be there. That is where we'll be attaching to the neckline of our shirt. Okay, now I am done sewing, and I'm just trying to turn it out here. Yes, after turning it out, I'll take it to my ironing table. Please, if you are using a stretchy fabric, like, because the fabric I'm using here is a bit stretchy, you can have hair stay on the other piece of the of the fabric where you don't have your collar, so you can have maybe probably hair stay or gum stay on it. But if you are working with probably all this fabric that is a bit strong, you may not need to do this. And lastly, for a collar, I'm just going to take it back to my sewing machine and top stitch on the collar with probably 1/4 of an inch. It can be lesser, it depends on how you want it. You can actually make it stylish too, it depends on you. So that is what I am doing right now. And yes, that will be all for our collar tutorial. If you would like to know how to make it separately, please kindly go to my TikTok page, Modest Odi, and watch it there. I posted a video on how to make a collar base and a collar fly, not quite long, and this is what we have. Yes, okay, so to attach this to my shirt, I'm just going to be notching the middle of the other hand that I didn't fold in. I'll be notching the middle and I'll be placing it right side facing right side to the shirt. I'll be attaching it. I'll be posting a video on how to attach it soon. And this is what our double collar looks like. You can see it is looking really beautiful and sitting pretty even without attaching it to a shirt yet. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're yet to do so. Bye.